Hello, everyone. Today, I want to share with you a very special story about a boy who was always afraid of failure, but eventually found the strength to change his life. Let's listen to the end to fully feel the message. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled beside a deep green mountain slope, there was a boy named Ethan. He was different from the other children in the village. While the kids ran and played, Ethan just quietly sat in the corner of the yard. When friends invited him to play soccer, he shook his head. "No, I'm not good at it. I'll definitely lose." When the teacher encouraged him to join the math contest, he found reasons to refuse. "I'm not smart enough. I'll disappoint the whole class." Every time was the same. Ethan chose to avoid. Inside him, there was a smoldering belief. If I don't start, I will never fail. But that thought turned Ethan into a shy, insecure boy who didn't dare to move forward. Ethan's father was an old blacksmith, his hands rough from hammering by the glowing fire every day. He loved his son, but was sad to see him afraid of every challenge. One evening, as the sunset faded behind the mountain range, the father gave Ethan a cold, hard iron bar and said, "Son, try to bend this." Ethan tried with all his small strength, but the iron didn't budge. Exhausted, he gasped, "I told you I can't do it." The father didn't scold, just smiled softly, then placed the iron into the blazing fire. After a while, when the iron was hot and glowing, he handed it back to his son. "Try again now." Ethan trembled as he took it, and this time, he easily bent it into a circle. The father placed his hand on his son's shoulder and gently said, "See, it's not that you're weak. You just haven't learned to wait for the right moment. Haven't been patient enough to train yourself. Like this iron, when it's hot enough, it softens and can be shaped into any form." Those words etched deeply into Ethan's heart. He was silent for a long time, realizing for the first time in his life, what held him back was not weakness, but the fear of failure. Time passed, and a year later, the village organized a special contest to climb the highest mountain peak to claim the golden flag, a symbol of glory and courage. Whoever planted the flag would be honored by the whole village. The news excited all the children but made Ethan nervous. Hundreds of questions echoed in his mind. What if I slip and fall? What if everyone laughs at me? What if? But then, he remembered his father's words. He remembered the iron that was useless in his hands until it was forged by fire. For the first time, Ethan decided, "I will try. Even if I fail, it's okay. At least I have taken a step." The day of the contest arrived. At dawn, the participants gathered at the foot of the mountain. The peak stood tall, white clouds obscuring it like a giant challenge. Everyone cheered loudly. A loud drumbeat sounded, and the contest began. Others climbed quickly, clinging to every rock like squirrels. Ethan took slow, careful steps. At first, he was left far behind, but he didn't mind. In his heart, he thought, "I don't need to be fast. I just need to keep going." Halfway up, Ethan's hands bled from slipping on sharp rocks. The pain made him want to stop. But the image of his father by the forge, with patient eyes, suddenly appeared. Ethan gritted his teeth, bandaged his hands with a piece of cloth, and continued climbing. Suddenly, it started to rain. The wind blew fiercely. Many were swept down and gave up. Shouts and cries of disappointment echoed across the mountainside. But Ethan, though trembling, still clung tightly to every crevice. With each step, he whispered to himself, "I can do this. As long as I'm persistent, I will succeed." Hour by hour, the small boy gradually approached the peak. When everyone at the foot of the mountain thought no one could continue, a resilient figure appeared. Thin shoulders, bleeding hands, but bright eyes. Ethan, the boy who had always feared failure, had reached the mountaintop. The whole village was stunned, then erupted in cheers. Ethan raised the golden flag high, the wind blowing his soaked hair. Through tears, he shouted, "Failure is not scary. Quitting is the real failure." From that day on, Ethan was no longer the shy boy who avoided challenges. He became a role model for the children in the village. And the greatest lesson he realized was, you don't have to be perfect from the start. Just dare to take the first step. Dare to persist to the end, and you will find the hidden strength within yourself. This story conveys a simple but profound truth. Fear is just a mountain in the mind. Persistence is the feet that carry us over it. And every person, no matter how small, carries within them the power to change their life. If you are hesitating before a dream, remember Ethan. Try, fail, but never give up. Because only by persisting to the very end will you see the glory waiting at the peak of your life. Thank you for listening. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to spread more motivation to everyone. See you in the next inspiring story.